Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me again. I think I finally came up with a few things to talk about that would fill up the time in a video, and I just got done with some of my workouts, so I'm kind of cranked up on Mountain Dew. My mind's running really well, so I figured I would just start talking and yeah, go over everything that's happened and is happening to me over the past 10 days. So yeah. So firstly, I've been taking a little bit extra time on the latest physical transformation video, mostly in part due to my back, and I'll give you a few more details in a second. Another reason is I got a new laptop, and that means new software and new programs and all sorts of workflow that I'm trying to learn, and it's really cool. It's a dope laptop. It's streamlining my productivity and my workflow, but it's just all sorts of new stuff that I have to relearn and utilize property. But as far as my back goes, so way back in December, about 8 months ago, I had a slip and fall at work, and it wasn't a huge thing until like a week or two later. I started having some pain in my back, and then I went to a doctor and we got it figured out with workers' comp and all that. And you know, they started prescribing me all sorts of stuff, you know, painkillers, muscle relaxers, and then they sent me to physical therapy, and then they sent me to chiropractic therapy, and I can't say that anything did a whole lot. The chiropractic helped temporarily for like a day, and then it would just come back. And then they started prescribing me steroid injections, and then more physical therapy, and more chiropractic therapy, and more drugs. And so it's been a huge ordeal. And only recently has my back really been spiking up again. And I think it's because I've been back at work. So because of COVID, I had 4 months off of work, basically. And that also helped with what I would like to say was the healing process. But now that I'm back at work, it's basically spiking up again, and it's causing me a lot of issues. So I'm trying to balance everything that I'm trying to do, at least in this physical aspect, as best I can without hurting myself. And on top of that, I also can't progress in my career field. So I've had a couple opportunities come up at work where it would be good for me if I could take them up, but I can't because of my back. It requires me to lift a certain amount of weight, and I can't do any like serious heavy lifting at all, even minor lifting for that matter. So it's really throwing a stick in those spokes of my career, I guess you could say. And so yeah, that kind of sucks. And on top of that, I talked to the doctor that has been performing my steroid injections recently, and his latest analysis of what's going on is that I very well may need surgery, because we are now at a point where we're regressing instead of progressing. And yeah, so that's just what that is. I'm kind of on this path to go meet a couple of surgeons and get their opinions and see what's going to be best. So currently we don't know, but I will keep you guys updated as it comes. And then the last thing I want to talk about is going to be a little weird and awkward for me to talk about, but again, like I've mentioned, I'm really using this as a way to get my thoughts out and kind of contrast with myself. I don't really have any close friends to talk to about these kinds of things. So it's about a girl, and the thoughts I've been having about this girl, and how I feel about myself, and everything in between. So I'll give you a little context really quick. It's a girl that I sort of kind of knew from like a week of training at a job that we both had, but after that week, we never talked or saw each other for a year and a half. And then we ended up matching on Tinder, and we fucked. And the reason I've been thinking about this and wanting to talk to myself about it, really talking to a friend, but I'm what I got. The reason that I have issues with it is because I would like to think that I have some sense of morality and or what I believe is moral and good and ideal, like my ideal. And I don't think whoring around and like sleeping around is morally ideal for me. And I have a hard time dealing with that because it seems whenever I get the opportunity to ignore that ideal, I do. And so it's curious to me, it's kind of an observation that my need to satiate my lust overpowers my morals. I think that's the best way I can put it. It's just not admirable to me to be sleeping around, and I like the girl For one, she's cool. We had, of course, we had fun. Duh. But she's actually cool. She's fun to talk to. She's fun to have around. We did go on a date before. We did go on a date beforehand as well, if that makes things any better. Also, I don't know. I think about, like, there's a price to pay for everything, and maybe it's not good for my character or my soul, if you want to take it to a spiritual level. But the last time that I ignored my conscience on this very same subject, I paid a pretty serious price. And so ever since then, I think about it all the time. My conscience says, no, hey, maybe you should take it slow, and don't jump into anything with anybody. And once the opportunity presents itself, I ignore that conscience, and then later down the road, I pay a pretty serious price. And I'm trying to fight that urge to ignore my conscience. I'm trying to actually listen to it. I think it would be better for me in the long run if I did. As much fun as the girl and I had, and our friendship that we have, and the situation that we've got going on, it's all good currently, which is great, but I just fear from my last situation that down the road it's going to have consequences, negative consequences, I may add. So yeah, currently, if she still will, I'm going to continue seeing her because all's good currently, and hopefully that doesn't bear any more negative consequences in the road, but currently I'm pretty optimistic about the situation, so all's good, and yeah, I'm happy about that. So, to summarize, I got a new laptop to streamline productivity and all that, aside from the fact I have to relearn all the programs and software and things like that. Back hurty a lot, back real hurt, and I'm battling my inner voices. The angel and the devil. That's vlog number 2. I'll see you in vlog number 3.